Okay, for the journalist journals, I'm Nigel H. This is walkthrough number 1. We're at location number 1, which is at the Daniels I-75 arrest stop in Fort Myers, Florida. We're filming phase 1 of the TSA's Operation Rest Stop. This program is to be broadcast only in the provinces. Okay, we're going to do the walkthrough now. Basically what will happen is, I think we've got good signage on 75 coming in. I think we got a good panoramic view as we're coming up here.
On the other
So
side.
this is a pretty typical dog. We got a dog walking in here. Pretty typical. It's a pretty typical rest stop. I mean, they're pretty much the same wherever you go. Thousands of them are the same. You get out of the car, you stretch your legs, you take a walk, you walk the dog. Basically, you want to make sure that this is pretty much representative of just about any rest stop that you go to. I think the good part about this is this one is a little bit, it's about a mile away from the airport, so it's real close for us. They got a, let's make sure they've got a snack bar. Yeah, we got a snack bar here. We got a women's room, family restroom, cool. Let's see, we got a, and yes they do, they got a men's room there. So we got everything here. We got men's, women, family. Let's take a look at the other end here. Okay. Whoa! Okay. I like this. We've got, we want to make sure the timing is about like this, because we got the sunset going down here. Maybe when the full crew comes in, we'll make sure we do this when we got a little bit more of the sun going down, because I think that's pretty much symbolic. So what we'll do in the walkthrough basically is that we'll establish that this is a normal rest stop, like every other rest stop in the United States. And then, but in the States, and for the Department of Homeland Security and the TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, this is the next front in the war on terror. And we'll talk about this on this side, because we got the sun going down, we got darkness descending, and freedom of movement in the States is going to be curtailed. Okay, and then I'll explain with the sun going down that the federal government and the TSA is going to be taking over all the rest stops, just like this one, 1,000 of them across the country. And they'll be doing basically the same thing that they're doing at the airports. They're going to be, except here, they're going to be searching cars, searching trucks. They'll be, wow, frisking people, sampling luggage and so forth for explosive trace residue. So that there's major changes coming, and it's coming November the 22nd. Okay, that'll be started on November the 22nd. All right, I like this. You like this? You think this is a good spot?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think, okay. All right, this is walkthrough number 1, location number 1. What we'll do is tomorrow, probably a little bit after midday, let's go to the second location. I think we'll get the sun. We get most of the sun there. That's more of a tropical setting. We'll do more of a talking head thing and see if that fits for us there for phase 2. This is phase 1, basically establishing the normalcy of the rest stops, and then the major change that's coming with the TSA. Woo. The TSA is mum on the implementation on phase 2, but our sources tell us that it involves the welcome centers. Say your automobile is registered in Florida and you plan on motoring north to Maine to visit family. When you cross the state line into Georgia, you will be required to register with the TSA at the Welcome Center. There, the TSA officer will interview you and all the occupants in your vehicle. They call that chatting you up. Once you've answered the questions satisfactorily, they will issue you your travel papers. You must retain them with you at all times. Next, they'll move to the vehicle. They'll inspect your vehicle. Now, they haven't promulgated it yet, but there will be a prohibited item list, things that you will not be allowed to carry in the cabin of your automobile, such as large bottles of jars of peanut butter and substances water and so forth. You won't be able to carry in the cabin of the automobile. Once they've vetted your automobile, they'll issue you a color-coded certificate that is to be affixed to the windshield and to the rear window. That way, law enforcement officers will be able to readily identify your vehicle as being from out of state and that you have been vetted by the TSA, and they'll know you have permission to drive into the state. Now, if you refuse to be interviewed, or if you fail the interview for whatever reason, you will be deported back across the state line. And the TSA officer will complete something called an SAR. That stands for Suspicious Activity Report, and you will become part of a TSA database. Now, we did ask TSA spokesperson Mr. Cohen if he anticipates any resistance from patriotic Americans who might resent the loss of their freedom of movement. And this is what he said. Quote, "We have been partnering with local and state law enforcement officers in joint operations for the past year, and we stand ready to protect any area of America that has a nexus to transportation. Americans are willing to sacrifice individual privacy rights for the good of the country. And frankly, they don't care what we do as long as we keep them safe." Now, we also contacted members of Congress in the United States, and this is pretty much a typical response we've gotten from a congressman, and this one is from a Senator Marco Rubio. And he said, thank you for contacting me, and quote, "After September 11th, 2001, all of us have given up some degree of privacy to ensure that the events of that day never occur again." So we asked the congressman and we asked TSA spokesperson Cohen about a loss of freedom, and they talked about Yanks sacrificing their privacy. Isn't it great that you live in a country where the F word still means something and you can say it as loud and as often as you want? Wouldn't it be great to stay home this winter and sit by the fireplace munching moose meat sliders and downing KDs while you banty about the F word? Freedom. It's not just a word in the true north. Don't miss the next episode of the, what's this you've got? I've just been handed this by my producer. It's Jimmy. One of our producers, Jimmy, is a Native American. He was born on a reservation and reared on a reservation in Arizona, and this is what he has to say. It's kind of harsh, Jimmy, but anyway. He said, "Freedom in the United States is no longer a word written in the white man's heart." Whoa. Well, and he also indicated, you want to stay tuned for our next program because we're going to stay right here in Fort Myers, Florida. Apparently that we learned that TSA spokesperson Robert Cohen is a longtime favorite of the Elephant Party in the States. And if the Romulans win the election, he will be the next Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. So in honor of him, we're going to be doing a special here from Fort Myers. And apparently it will be, the question we'll ask is, can incompetence kill? And if incompetence can kill, can it become a mass murderer? We'll also be comparing and contrasting CATSA, that's the Canadian Air Traffic Security Authority, and the Transportation Security Administration. And we ask you the question, if you only have one life to live, don't you think you might want to avoid certain TSA-controlled airports? Of course, unless you're a Hindu or a monk and believes in reincarnation, then it probably doesn't matter. Till the next time, for the Journaling Journalist Journals, reporting live, I'm Nigel H.